it turns out that antipsychotic drugs are being prescribed more and more for off-label uses. And to give you specific examples, there are schizophrenia drugs out there that are meant to treat schizophrenia, but you're seeing doctors prescribe it more and more to people who have trouble sleeping, who have insomnia.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, this is completely disastrous. Now, pharmaceutical companies are banned from advertising off-label uses of their drugs.
So I'm going to guess that they don't do it, right? So like if they're banned from doing it, I'm sure they don't subtly encourage it in other ways, right?
Wrong. They encourage it by going directly to doctors and telling them, hey, you might want to prescribe this drug. It's really great. And also, you know, we've done stories before. There have been investigations where pharmaceutical companies will literally pay doctors to overprescribe these drugs.
Yeah. If I'm having trouble sleeping and I go to my doctor, I'm saying, oh, you know, I'm going to need some help here. And he's like, I'm going to give you drugs that we give for psychotic people. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not sure I want that, right? But who can possibly think it's a good idea? And if you think that, turns out you're wrong. Because what are the results sometimes, some of the side effects that you get from taking the wrong drugs?
You can develop type 2 diabetes, breast development in boys, and irreversible facial tics.
Okay, you lost me at irreversible facial tics. Okay.
Really? You didn't lose me at breast development in boys?
Yeah, first of all, that's a fail, okay?
Yeah.
He's like, what, I can sleep a lot better, but what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, hey, like, John, you sure you're all right? And he's like this. Yeah, I'm all right. What do you mean? What do you mean? Irreversible facial tics? Are you kidding me? And how can doctors, God, how little do you care about medicine, that you would prescribe this with these possible side effects just because people have trouble sleeping?
Yeah, and look, there are people out there who will make the argument like, no, this isn't happening on a wide scale, but it actually is.
It is happening on a wild scale.
It is. But to give you specific numbers, and this is incredible, a study published last year found that off-label antipsychotic prescriptions doubled between 1995 and 2008 from 4.4 million to 9 million. And a recent report by pharmacy benefits manager Medco estimated that the prevalence of the drug's use among adults ballooned more than 169% between 2001 and 2010.
The 9 million number is stunning.
It is, definitely. And look,
that's 3% of the American population walking around with a facial tic. If you see one, that's just a side effect, I know. But if you see one, you know, well, hey, at least they weren't psychotic. They took the wrong medicine.
At least they were able to sleep well at night.
Yeah, I guess.
No, this is a nightmare. And look, as patients, right, if you have some sort of issue and you're going to the doctor for it, if they prescribe you something, look, you have the power of the internet. Research the hell out of it. You know, I had surgery and I was prescribed antibiotics, and there were side effects to that I didn't even realize. Antibiotics kill all the good bacteria in your body. Mm-hmm. Good bacteria, bad bacteria, I had no idea of that. If I knew ahead of time, I would have been prepared, right? You got to research before you take the drugs, even if it's something as benign as an antibiotic.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately these days, these pharmaceutical companies pump our doctors so full of, you know, incentives and sometimes literally money that people wind up trusting Google more than they trust their own doctors. And that's another terrible side effect of what's going on here.